Hello and welcome to Bookish Sisters Podcast. I'm Aly.
And I'm Jaime, and we are two sisters who love talking about books.
Today we thought we'd reintroduce ourselves since it's been a few seasons.
And you can see us now.
Yeah, that hasn't happened before.
Yeah, we are no longer audio only. So exciting.
It is. It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
So for new listeners, we thought we'd kind of break down what a normal episode kind of looks like from us.
And it changes depending on our moods a little bit.
So sometimes we talk about like books with a specific trope.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes a few books within like a specific genre or with similar vibes.
And sometimes it's just like we'll dedicate one entire episode to one specific book that we really liked.
And sometimes it's just random. Like, we've played a game before. Like,
yeah, that was a really strange one in the beginning. No need to go looking at that episode.
Point is, you don't know what's going to happen.
It was fun, though.
It was. Weird, but fun.
So we kind of thought we'd start off with, like, our credentials as readers. Like, we typically read about 300 books a year each.
Which is insane to think about. Like, because it wasn't always that way.
No, even a couple of years ago, it wasn't like that.
I thought it was cool if I read, like, 100, which was still, like...
That was, like, a huge milestone. It's really ever since COVID, honestly, because when we've done nothing but read, and then we found Bookstagram and became ARC readers and all this, it kind of just spiraled, and now it's, like, all we do is read.
I know, because I feel like for a while it was only, like, 1 or 2 books a month, if that. Mm-hmm. And now, look at me.
Yeah. It's insane. Absolutely insane. So we've really only been writing reviews for the things we read for, like, the past 3 or 4 years. Mm. And, like, for everything we read probably for the last, like, 2.
Yeah. And, like, we've rated books on Goodreads. Like, I've rated over 1,800 books.
I've rated, like, 1,600 around.
Oh. And, like, how many reviews do you think you've written?
About 850. But it's probably more than that now.
Mm. Yeah, when I checked, it was 838, but I know I've written more reviews since then.
Right. Well, because I typically read a book, like, every day or every couple days.
Yeah, I feel like I read, like, every day and a half to 2 days.
Yeah. It really just depends on my mood and what I have going on.
And the length of the book.
That has a big thing. And the format of the book.
Yes.
That has a big, at least for me, that's, like, a big factor. Mm-hmm. Because I have I struggle with ebooks and audiobooks.
I cannot do audiobooks no matter how hard I try. I do not pay attention. I tune them out.
I have to have them at a ridiculously fast speed, I've learned. That's the only way I can, like, keep my attention and I can process. Otherwise, I get bored and zone out. Mm. It's weird.
And then I can only read, like, some things on my Kindle. Other times, like, I can't do it.
Right.
I can't process it.
And I couldn't tell you why.
Me either.
It's really bizarre.
We can't be the only ones that have that problem, though.
No, we can't be. So, where do you usually post your reviews?
All my reviews make their way onto Goodreads.
Same.
A lot of them on, like, Instagram.
Yes.
I don't really post on TikTok that much.
I don't either. I've found it very awkward to give, like, a verbal book review.
Yes.
So, I've only done it a handful of times on there. And it wasn't, like, very well received.
I know.
So, I don't know that TikTok's my main, like, it's not my vibe.
No. But book talk can be full of drama sometimes.
Yeah. I would agree with that. So, NetGalley, I post only really on NetGalley when because I usually don't use it that much. Because, like I said, I don't read ebooks that often or listen to audiobooks that often. But if I know I'm getting a physical ARC of a book or I have a physical copy, I'm usually pre-approved or can get approved for that book. So I'll put it on there so I can boost my ratio.
Yep. Yeah, I usually only have like 3 or 4 on my NetGalley at a time. And like I'm pre-approved for a good handful of publishers. So I only pick ones that I know I'm actually going to read and I think I'll actually be able to read on my Kindle and enjoy. Right.
But there have been a handful of times where I've been sent an ebook on NetGalley, not knowing that that's how I was going to get it.
Yep.
And then I'm kind of stuck reading it that way. And sometimes it just doesn't happen because I struggle too much sometimes. But it is what it is. There are times when my ratio is really good on there, and other times I'm like, oh man, I gotta do something about this.
Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I think I'm at like 95% right now.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I got it up.
I know. I don't think I don't even have 100 on there. Like books that I've done.
I don't know how many books I have, but I got my ratio up, and that's all that mattered.
So Storygraph is another one. I was using that for a while until I ran into the problem where a lot of the books that I was reading were not available on there.
Same.
And I was having to create a listing, it felt like, every time, and then I wasn't able to do what I needed to do right away. I was having to, there's like a waiting period, and it was too much of a hassle.
I don't bother making listings on Storygraph. Like, if it's there, I will log it. If it's not, I don't.
But I was having the problem where it was like every book I was reading, because I read a lot of indie books and stuff, they just weren't on there.
I know. I wish, like, all books were on every platform.
And I started using Fable recently, and I've been having the same problem. I mean, a lot of the books I read are on there, but there's been quite a few recently that are not available, and I can't even make a listing if I wanted to on there, at least that I know of. So it's like, those apps aren't very accurate to, like, I can't go to there and be like, oh, I've read this, because some of the books are not there.
But I do like how they have 1.5 stars.
Yes.
That's a nice feature.
It is a nice
feature. And
they
do give you, like, your, like, statistics.
Yes.
Like, who's your most read author of the year. What's, like, your reading mood of the year. I do like seeing that.
I like seeing that, too. And I like how, for, like, when you put your reviews in and stuff, you're able to, like, add, like, your emotion or the way it made you feel in there. It's all built into your review.
And it kind of helps, at least sometimes, to write a review if you're writing a review in the app first.
Yes.
Because you can be like, oh, yeah, I liked this. I liked the characters. And you have, like, check boxes of what elements.
I know. That's some of the things I wish that would be put into Goodreads. And Barnes & Noble is another place we put some reviews.
And Amazon.
Yeah. I have only done it on
Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble a few times. Only when I've been asked, actually.
I don't usually link to unless someone's asking me specifically to put the review there. Sometimes I will go on and just, like, mass upload reviews. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Same with Amazon.
Amazon, I do the same thing. My problem with Amazon, there's actually a few problems, is one, that a lot of the things I read I'm reading them before they're available to the public. Yep. So I can't post my review on there until pub day.
Yes.
So with that, I have to remember then, like, a month, 2 months, sometimes like 6 months to go back on and add it. And then the other problem with that is that a lot of times it doesn't work. It's like,
because they have to review your
review
and, like, make sure, like, it's acceptable to post it or something.
And sometimes it'll go live immediately, and then there's a lot of times where it's like I'm waiting months, and then sometimes it'll tell me it's submitted for review, but nothing happens. It's just, like, stuck there, and I can keep resubmitting it over and over, and it doesn't, like, go through, and I'm like, what is the problem? And it's really frustrating because sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to help this author out. I want to post this. And it's like, and sometimes they message you and they're like, did you put it on it? Why haven't you put it on Amazon? I'm like, I submitted it. I can't do anything else. Like, it's just waiting until it goes live.
I know. I always feel bad when they message and I'm like, I promise you I did it. It's just, it hasn't been approved.
I know. And then I'm like, there's nothing I can do. You can't resubmit it.
You can, like, after, like, a certain amount of time, but they have to reject it first.
Right. And I've never had one rejected. I've just had it. Have you? I've just had it stuck in, like, review purgatory. It's just like...
Yeah, but lately we've been using the Bookshelf app to log every book in our library.
Yes.
And, like, it's kind of like Goodreads. But you can customize listings, make your own. You can add your own photo of, like, your books, and you can have multiple editions of the same book.
Which is something that you can't do in Goodreads.
So if you are a book collector like us, where you have multiple editions of the same book.
Like if you have over 100 editions of The Wizard of Oz.
Like Aly.
I can have each individual Wizard of Oz book in there, so I know all the editions I have. I know the condition, the cover, everything. I can just pull it up in my own shelf of the Wizard of Oz and see everything.
Yeah.
And you can have tags for different things, too.
Yeah, like, I have a signed book tab, special edition tab,
ARCs,
ones I've owned, ones that are ex-library, ones that I need to upgrade.
Mm-hmm. All the things.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend checking out the app.
Yeah, it's
no,
really
we're not
helpful.
sponsored.
No, we're not.
And that's all just with the free version.
Yeah, I would love to pay to have, but I just don't have money.
Yep.
all the features would be great.
So moving into our reading evolution, like how we started reading.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we both started with the Nancy Drew and mystery.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Well, our cousin, and I had the whole Nancy Drew collection growing up, and we like shared it. So I loved those. I read all those, and then you were like always into watching Scooby-Doo and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I bet you would really love these Nancy Drew books. So I made you start reading them.
I read all the Nancy Drews, then I got into the Hardy Boy books, and then I read all the Nancy Drew Hardy Boy crossovers.
Right.
Which, there's a lot.
There are a lot.
And there's a lot of, like, Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy spin-offs, too.
And we would know because we collect them. We have bookcases full of Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys, all the vintage editions. It's a little out of control, to be honest.
We're not going to count how many we have, though.
No, it's best we don't. Although the bookshelf app could tell us.
And then, like, from the Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy books, I went into, like, the Princess Diaries and, like, the Cheater Girls. And then I got into, like, Christian fiction and suspense.
Right.
Like Terry Blackstock, Brandon Lynn Collins, and a handful of others.
I somehow went from reading mysteries to Sophie Kinsella books. Like, when my son was born, I went to, like, the library and it just caught my eye. Mm-hmm. I think it was, like, Can You Keep a Secret? And, The Undomestic Goddess are the ones I picked up first. Mm-hmm. And I would read them when he was napping. And I was hooked. And that opened, like, a whole new branch of, like, reading for me.
Yeah.
Because she had quite a few books then. Mm-hmm. Gosh, she has a lot of them now, but...
I know, she's been one of your favorite authors for, like, ever.
Since the beginning of time. And then we both got into the cozies.
Yep. Cozy Mysteries, I started out with Joanne Fluke's Hannah Swenson series. Mm-hmm. And I loved that. I still do. Although I haven't finished the series yet, because there's 40-some books, I believe.
Right.
Maybe there's less. I don't know.
Sometimes those cozy mystery series have a lot in them. And I got into Laura Child's The Scrapbooking Mystery series, because I loved scrapbooking at the time, and I was like, wow, this is perfect. It's got, like, a combination of my favorite hobby and reading. What could be better?
I liked the one that I read of that series. It wasn't my favorite, though. But scrapbooking was never, like, really my thing.
Right.
I just kind of, like, participated.
Right. Yeah, that's quite a lengthy series, too.
Mm-hmm. And then we got into the paranormal cozy mysteries, which we
love it. We started with the Victoria Laurie Ghost Hunter series. Actually, I started it and then I made you read it.
And I'm so glad you did, because she's one of my favorite cozy mystery authors. Mm-hmm.
And she has quite a few different series, and they kind of a lot of them interconnect with each other.
And I did have a chance to be on Victoria Laurie's podcast, the Psychic Eye Pen podcast. Mm-hmm. So make sure you check that episode out.
Yeah, that was a really cool opportunity for you.
I was freaking out.
I was geeking out for you. I was like, oh my gosh, you get to meet Victoria Laurie.
We talked books, and she gave me a psychic reading, which was my first time ever, like, doing any of that.
Yeah, that was so cool. I was so jealous. But I was also terrified if I would have been asked, I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't do that.
Like, she wants me on her podcast? Okay.
You're like, I have to, don't I?
Like, I can't say no, it's Victoria Laurie.
And then we also started reading the Juliet Blackwell series. Well, actually, there was a couple different ones. But the first one was the Home Renovation, and the other one we really liked was a Witchcraft Mystery series.
I really liked both of those. I haven't read too many in either series, though.
Oh, I have.
I don't know why. I fall in love with the series. I, like, collect them, or I'll be like, oh my gosh, I love this. And then I never read it anymore.
Yeah.
I just, like, hoard them, and I'm like, oh, I love this series. Why am I not reading it? I don't know, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I ran out of shelf space, so I have, like, drawers full of all these cozy mysteries. I'm waiting for the drawers to break, to be honest, because they're so full.
Let's not even think about that possibility.
And then we also really liked the Madeline Alt, the Bewitching Mystery series. That one was also really good.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there only like one book that like you didn't like in that series?
Yeah, I feel like it was book 5. I
might
could
have
be
been
wrong.
6.
I don't know. That one didn't even feel like it was in the same series, and it was awful. And I had to break up the series because I had to part with that book, and it was heartbreaking because I just didn't like it.
It is so hard. Like, if you hate a book so to the point where you do not keep it with the collection,
Yeah,
and you get rid of it,
that's how you know you really didn't like it. Because I got to keep the series together, but that one had to go.
And then you got into like the YA horror.
Yeah, I started with The Dead House by Dawn Kirkovich.
I loved that book so much. I'm so glad you made me read it.
I know.
That was like my first horror book.
Yeah, that was, I think, my first horror book too. It was also my first like interactive media type style reading experience, and I absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then I got into thrillers like Mega Miranda.
Mm-hmm.
I started with The Safest Lies. And
that was a good one.
That was like the first like thriller I think I'd read, and that started a whole thing. Then it was like years of reading nothing but thrillers.
I don't know which one I started with. I feel like mine of hers may have been the one that was told backwards. I can't remember the title. All the Missing Girls.
Yeah, All the Missing Girls. Yeah, that one was unique.
That was not a good one to start with.
I liked that one though. And then once I got into Megan Miranda, then I started getting into like Sherry LaPena and Lisa Jewell, Riley Sager, and Gillian Flynn.
I love Riley Sager.
I know. I got you hooked on him too. I think I started all of this.
You have introduced me to so much. But like while you were reading like your thrillers, I was getting into the YA like fantasy and fiction, like all the ones that they made movies of when I was in high school. Those are all the ones that I started reading. Mm-hmm. So I was into the Hunger Games, the Maze Runner, Divergent, Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. And, like, that kind of got me into, the YA fantasy and dystopia and, like, everything else.
Right. And then there was Pretty Little Liars.
Yes. I love the Pretty Little Liars series.
I can't remember. We watched the show first. Yep. And then
you tried reading the first book.
Our brother had got it for us.
While the series was going, and that was confusing.
It was too confusing because the characters didn't look the same, didn't act the same. The story was kind of different.
It was very different. But such a binge-worthy series, both TV and book.
Oh, yeah. But the books, I felt like I read them like lightning speed. I feel like I read one a day, and there was 18 books in the series.
Never have I read an 18-book series so fast.
Is that the first series you've ever finished? It's got to be.
It's one of the few series that I have finished.
Yeah, which says a lot because it's so long. Mm-hmm. It's a commitment to read them all.
I know. I have major problems with finishing series. It does not happen. It doesn't happen very often. I will have the books on my shelf forever.
And then I also got into reading fantasy, but it was mostly like fairy tales because I'm a big fairy tale nerd and I love like all things princesses and all that stuff. So I started reading all of that.
I know you were reading like your fairy tales and stuff, and that's when I started with the Lunar Chronicles because I found Cinder, not knowing it was the series, and I fell in love.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you what I started with, but I mean, gosh, even behind me you can see I just have like bookcases full of fantasy, and most of them are all fairy tales in some way or another. It's absurd. I've got a problem. And then more recently, we've really been into
like romances.
In rom-coms, yeah.
Which was surprising to me is I've never been into like romance movies or like books or anything. And then all of a sudden, now I like them.
Like aside from Sophie Kinsella, I had always been looking for something like Sophie Kinsella, and everything that claims to be, I'd never really cared for. And I don't know, something happened. Now I got bookcases full of rom-coms now. Like
I know, I do too, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, what happened to me?
So, once COVID happened, I discovered Bookstagram. Yep. And for those of you who don't know, that's like the book community on Instagram. Yep. And then I started ARC reviewing, and I got you into doing all that too.
I know. You were actually the reason I posted my first post ever on Instagram. Because I'm like, oh, I don't need social media. I don't really have any interest in it. You're like, you're going to like this. You took a photo of Alice in Zombieland.
I did.
And you're like, okay, here you go, you're posting it. You left this one, you didn't post it. And then next thing you knew, I fell in love with the community.
I know there were like so many doors opened up once we started posting regularly, and I don't even know how it even started. I feel like pretty early on to just posting random book pictures of things that I enjoyed. I started writing my thoughts because I was asked to be on like a cover reveal team. Yep. And then I got to ARC review, and then that just kind of spiraled into like, I don't even know how, but...
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but okay.
And entering giveaways on there and winning books. That's how we got... I got a lot of books that way, honestly.
I know. I won a lot of giveaways early on. And like, I got a box of like 10 or 12 books. And I'm like, some of them I never would have thought I would have read.
Right.
Like, Circus of Wonders was one that I won.
Right.
And I'm like, historical fiction, not really my thing. But I loved it.
I remember pretty early on, I won a giveaway of 13 special edition fantasy books. And that actually got me into a lot of different types of fantasy. Because they're not ones I would have ever picked for myself. Right. And I ended up loving them. And then, man, that exploded.
Yeah, I kind of started out with just, you see a giveaway, you enter the giveaway. Whether or not you think you'll like it doesn't matter. Because if you win, it's free.
Right, and then
it's worth trying.
Right, you're not spending your own money on it because books can be expensive.
Very expensive.
So you're not spending your money on a book and then, that you don't know if you'll like or not. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And, like, once authors started reaching out to have me join their ARC teams and stuff, then I started discovering how to get on to, like, publisher programs. Yep. And then, man... I don't even know how... I feel so blessed.
Yes.
Books show up every day.
I know. Like, even if you have a small account, a lot of the times publishers you're at least considered they have, like, maybe 1,000 or 5,000 followers, like, that you have to have. But they accept small accounts, big accounts. It doesn't always matter.
Especially if you make a point to post about the things you're sent.
So, like, even if you don't think you have a big enough account or you're not good enough, try. You never know. Like, I'm always shocked, like, oh my gosh, this publisher likes me.
Right, and I feel we were real baby accounts when we started getting into the programs.
I still feel like I'm a baby account sometimes.
Right. I know, I don't feel like I have everyone surpassed us.
Like, I've been at 13K for, like, ever, it feels like, and I haven't been moving.
I've been at 14.7K for forever. It doesn't change. It is what it is.
But, like, even so, I never would have thought that publishers would be sending us books.
No. Especially by, like, the box full. Like, truly, every single day, at least one book shows up in the mail.
And sometimes I'm overwhelmed and I'm screaming, and then you just have, like, a giant pile of books that are just need to be photographed or shelved, and I don't know what I'm doing with them, and they just pile up and pile up.
Right, and then it's always the battle of figuring out what are the real priority reads, like things you agreed to review, and, like, by when, and it's like a constant shuffle game.
And it can also be a struggle to figure out why we receive books, because you do apply for them. But sometimes you're sent random lists.
Well, and a lot of times when you apply, it's months and months and months before you receive a book. So you don't remember, especially when you sign up for so many things.
I would love to recommend to, like, authors and publishers, always include some sort of note saying why we receive a book.
That would be swell. Because sometimes we have to spend, like, an hour, like, truly trying to figure out where this book came from and why I have it.
And, like, sometimes it should be obvious. Like, yes, we're expecting it. But other times people forget to let us know that we are going to be receiving it.
Yes.
And we will have no idea whatsoever why we have a book.
That actually happened recently.
A couple times.
I spent, like, 2 weeks trying, not every day, but I spent, like, 2 weeks of time just trying to figure out where this book came, because it came from the author from Barnes & Noble. So they had my address, and it wasn't, like, directly from a publisher or directly from the author. I had no communication with the author.
And it wasn't something that you would typically read and post about.
No, and I was just baffled, and I couldn't figure out. I was like, well, I want to know what I'm expected to do with this. Why did I receive this? How did they get my address? Like,
yes. The address thing was a concern.
Yeah, it really was. It was just like, how did they get my address? And I was like reaching out to tour companies, and they were like, nope, it's not from us. I'm like, where did this come from?
Yes. So if you're an author or publisher, send a note with it. It's always helpful.
So I think like one of my favorite things about being an ARC reader is that I get to read some of the things that I've been like highly anticipating way before it comes out.
I never would have thought that I would have been reading and reviewing books long before they're out. And especially some of my favorite authors, like, recently. Like, I recently read Marissa Meyer's latest book.
I know, I was so jealous that you got that one!
I know, I was freaking out. I had no idea it was coming. And it was just a surprise book mail, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know, I feel like that's happened. I can't think of anything on the spot, naturally. But I feel like some of my absolute favorite books, I wouldn't have known about if I wasn't sent them to ARC Read.
Hidden Pictures, Jason Refulick.
Yep.
Although that was a giveaway win. But still, I ARC read it.
Yeah. What's the title of the one by Amy Tintera?
Listen for the Lie.
Yeah, that one ended up being one of my favorites.
Like, we learned so many new favorites this way.
And Tessa Bailey, we read Dream Girl Drama. That one ended up being one of my favorites. I hadn't really read anything by her at that point.
I read Fourth Wing.
You did. I forgot about that. And that's the only reason I ended up reading it, because you kept telling me I needed to. Like, and I was like, that's not I wasn't reading that kind of fantasy yet.
I know, I got everyone hooked on Fourth Wing.
I know, I feel like there have been so many. Truly, it's really cool.
Oh, and I read Shield of Sparrows.
You did, and I ended up loving that one too once, because I bought it. Oh, I was so excited.
I know, sometimes ARC reading is like the best thing ever. It's like Christmas morning when you like get a new book.
It really is. I feel like there have been so many indie books that I've read that I ended up absolutely loving that I wouldn't have known about otherwise. I wouldn't have, had a way to receive them or know they existed if I wasn't sent them.
And a couple of them we've even had like the authors on our podcast.
It's true. All very exciting.
Like, you should see us freak out before like we talk to an author.
Yeah.
But, like, I love being one of the first people to read a book.
It's also cool when you see things before they're, like, completely edited. And then you read, like, the final version, and you're like, wow, things really changed.
I know, my favorite is when you're reading an ARC, and, like, they still have, like, their notes, because it's not, like, finished. So, insert a cool last name. Like, insert your town name here. Or you'll just see, like, all those little notes that, like, they haven't figured out what they're going to title things yet. So it's just like, insert here.
Right? Or like when you read the final copy and it's like the names change and things. And you're like, oh, no wonder this seems a little different because it's like a completely different name. That's why it's not ringing a bell.
Although sometimes it can be frustrating because, like, you'll be reading and you'll be loving a book and you'll get to the epilogue, which I don't always feel the need for. But sometimes, like, it leaves you hanging. You would like that little extra closure.
Right.
And it's epilogue to come. Because it hasn't been written yet.
You just have to wait for the final book. Just like everyone else.
Yep.
So what are, like, 5 of your favorite books?
Do you know how hard it is to pick 5 favorites? Because I could easily list, like, probably 100 books.
Okay, I'll start. I'll go with, like, 5 of my, like, most recent favorites then. Okay. Witch of the Wolves.
I haven't read that one yet.
By Kaylee Archer. It's on the shelf. That book was so good. You are going to love it.
I haven't read it yet.
I have 2 copies. You will love it. Well, I have an ARC that doesn't have a cover. And then I have an ARC that does have a cover.
Oh, it's so cool when they don't have a cover, but also, like, you feel awkward, like, when you're posting about it and, like, trying to photograph it because it has no cover.
Right, and I don't have all, like, the fancy things. I'm not good. I don't know how to do, like, digital stuff, to make put a digital cover in a lot of the time.
I'm very minimal when it comes to my digital work. Like, you can usually tell I just dropped in a book cover because they'll be slightly slanted or something because I can't get it to line up and I just am frustrated.
And I only use the free programs for everything, so things are always blurry, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I know, and sometimes, like, you have to hop through the programs. but it's fine.
Some of my other favorites, I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but pretty much anything by Catherine Center or Sarah Adams.
Yes, I've been loving both of them lately.
I've read so many this year. Shield of Sparrows and Fourth Wing.
Yes.
Notice I'm lumping them together by like genres.
Oh, when we get to mine, you'll be just dropping in series.
Because those ended up being favorites too.
Yes, those
and
are
then,
my favorites too.
Obviously, anything by Riley Sager or Frida McFadden. And then the Cursed Princess Club series.
Okay, you were listing all my favorites, but I have other favorites I will list too.
And I cannot wait for the final volume to come out in November. I am dying.
I don't want it to end though.
No, that's when I can keep rereading. I don't reread often because I have so many books that I need to read that come in, but it's like sometimes it's just a feel-good series and I just gotta reread it.
You can't read it and not smile.
I know.
Okay.
It's good.
So my favorites, I'm going with like all-time favorites.
Okay.
So the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer.
I love that one too.
Yep. The Fourth Wing, obviously.
For obvious reasons.
Jason Kulik's Hidden Pictures.
Oh, I'm gonna steal. Let's just say some of your favorites and put them in with mine because that's one of my favorites too.
I already claim all of your favorites. Everything by Riley Sager,
of course, obvious reasons.
The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson.
Oh, I love that one.
And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie.
That one's good too.
I love them both. I've loved the movie adaptations.
Oh, I see. You got 6 favorites here.
And then, of course, the Harry Potter series because
you're a Potterhead. So what character do you think you really relate to?
So there's been very few characters that I've ever felt like I've related to.
Mm-hmm.
But the very first one that I ever encountered was Cinder from the Lunar Chronicles series.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought that I would be relating to a cyborg, among instead of other characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because she, trying to figure out how to put my words in, but she's part cyborg, and I have titanium rods in my spine, and I have screws in my back and stuff. So there's that, and then she doesn't have memories from before her age 13. Because, well, spoilers, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But, I got amnesia from my spine surgery. So, I didn't have those memories either.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't, it impacted her character, but it didn't, she still moved forward.
Right.
And, that was the first time I encountered a character that, I could relate to on that level.
Right.
And, it was cool.
I have yet to find someone that I feel is like me in a book. There are little bits and elements and things I could relate to, obviously, but I haven't found the one character that I feel is me.
I don't other than Cinder, there haven't been too many characters that I would be yes, that is my character.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, it's still Cinder. I'm okay with that.
So what are books that you always recommend?
Oh, it depends on the genre.
I would agree.
But I'm always recommending Work in Progress by Kat Mackenzie, which that was her debut romance, and a Scottish setting. I loved it so much.
I loved that one too.
Grumpy Sunshine. I was smiling. I was
laughing out loud, and I don't laugh out loud for very many books.
Me either. And I've been recommending, Love's a Witch by Trisha O'Malley.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one too.
Also Scottish.
There's a theme.
Scottish and magic. Slipstream by Match Merrill. That was a sports F1 racing romance.
Which I would have never thought you would love. And I'm really still on the fence to know if I would like that. But
I don't know, but I need you to try them. The entire Meant to Be series.
Oh, I love that series.
Which has various authors.
I always recommend that one too.
And then The Bodyguard by Catherine Center.
Oh, I love that one too.
Also the Rom-Comers by her. But
I love that one as well. I recommend anything by Sophie Kinsella if you like romances. Suing Cinderella by Stephanie Mack, which is also a rom-com.
You were always recommending that one to me,
and
I still haven't read it.
Good. The Rom-Comers by Catherine Center, and Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren, which is part of the Meant to Be series. So those are my romance recommendations.
Yes, same. Going into thriller recommendations, Hidden Pictures.
Obviously.
I will always recommend Hidden Pictures. Maybe not if you don't like spookier thrillers, But still read it anyways.
Yeah, I recommend that one every time, too. I also recommend Never Lie by Frida McFadden.
That is a good one.
I feel like that is her best book.
One of her best.
You haven't read them all, so...
but I have a couple of favorites that are, like, right up there with her.
Yes. And then The Only One Left by Riley Sager is my favorite one of his that I'm always recommending.
I always recommend all of his books. Like, it depends on which one I recommend.
But I think it depends on the person, because they're not all the same.
No, just, he has books that are, like, slower and more atmospheric. He has ones that are, like, more murder mystery.
Some that are more, like, paranormal twists.
Or domestic thriller. Yeah, he has a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I would agree.
I'm sure he has a thriller for everyone.
I think so.
Listen for the Lie by Amy Santera.
I recommend that one all the time, too. You know, what I just thought of is the Maid series by Nita Prose.
Oh, I love that one. I haven't finished the series yet.
I know. Well, I have the ones you're missing, so you can borrow them. But I always recommend that, too. Sorry, I took over.
You're fine.
I just, like, am looking at the shelf and I saw another one.
None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell.
Oh, that one's so good.
Has similar vibes to the Listen for the Lie.
We actually did a whole episode on that.
And then Count My Lies by Sophie Stava.
That one is so good. That's actually turning into a TV show series.
Is it?
Yes, I saw that this morning.
Well, you know what I have to watch when it comes out? I feel like all my favorites are turning into, like, books and movies lately.
I know. We're gonna have to, like, do a comparison on here. That would be fun. So, going into fantasy, I always recommend Creatures of Chaos by Julie Hall.
I loved that one so much.
Oh, it was so good.
And I'm still jealous that you have 2 special editions.
I know. I had every intention of giving you the second one I got, but I can't.
That's fair.
The Once Upon a Heart series by Stephanie Garber.
I love that one. And the Caravel series, too.
Yeah, that one's good. The Queen of Hearts trilogy by Colleen Oakes.
I have the first book. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, well, you need to borrow 2 and 3 for when you go to read your 1, because you'll want to read them back to back. That is such a good.
I'm sure I'll love it.
It's so good. It's like Alice in Wonderland. So amazing. The Dorothy Must Die series by Danielle Page, for obvious reasons. Wizard of Oz.
That is a good series too. I haven't finished the stories yet, but I read the main series,
which doesn't make sense to me because the stories are broken up into 3 books, and you have each book has like 3 different characters it follows. So that's like 3 mini stories.
Yeah, I only have 3 stories left.
Oh,
I don't know why I haven't finished them yet.
And then Never Keep by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. That was amazing. That's what got me sucked into the whole like series, because it's like a spin-off
of the Zodiac Academy.
Yeah, and it's just
I've heard nothing but good things.
I'm totally hooked, and I don't have all the books. I have bits and pieces of the collection, and there's so many, and I'm left hanging, and can't get my hands on the other ones. It's a whole problem.
Well, fantasies that I always recommend: Lunar Chronicles, Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Shield of Sparrows. I also have Once Upon a Broken Heart.
Because it's so good!
Which I wasn't sure. Like, I'm surprised by how much I loved it, based off of one of the twists that usually bothers me. And again, I can't really say spoilers, but The Spell Shop.
I've heard good things about that.
Sarah Beth Durst. I love that one so much, and I recently read The Enchanted Greenhouse as well. Loved that as well.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Like, it's like cozy fantasy meets rom-com.
That sounds like a good combination.
And, like, you're just smiling and laughing, and it's a feel-good story. Forged by Magic by Jenna Wolfhart, which is a spicy, cozy romance-y. Also, loved that entire series. And then The Waterfire Saga by Jennifer Donnelly.
Which I still haven't read.
I need you to read it. I need to talk about it.
I finally have them all. They're sitting on the shelf where they've been sitting for years. Because you told me I can't take a break. I have to read them back to back. I don't have time.
You're following mermaids under the sea, and there's a whole world of terminology that you gotta learn.
It sounds like everything I will love.
Like, I was loving that series so much.
So, going into horror recommendations, I always recommend The Dead House by Dawn Kirkovich.
I love that one.
Or really anything that she's read or written. And she also has a half book that comes with that one called the Nadia Tapes, or Nada Tapes. I forget how you say it. And that was also really good.
I haven't read that one.
But you can only get it on your Kindle.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't have it.
Yeah. And I always recommend The September House by Carissa Orlando.
Yes, me too.
That one was so good. And Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates.
Have I read that one? I have not read that one yet.
That one was, Darcy Coates has a lot of books, and I've read a lot of them, but that one is by far my absolute favorite one.
I've only read a handful of her books so far.
I think you will love that one.
I'm sure I will. I always recommend The Haunting of Hill House if you're looking for like a classic horror.
That one is really good too.
September House, which you just listed. There's No Way I Die First by Lisa Springer.
Have I ever heard of that one?
You should. I've talked about it many times.
What does the cover look like?
You have a girl ringing from a clown.
Oh.
It's a locked room mystery with a clown while they're playing hide and seek, and the clown is like killing them.
That sounds terrifying.
It's actually really good though. So if you're looking for a clown horror, maybe that one. Horror Story by Gertie Hendricks.
Oh, I love that one. That one looks like an IKEA catalog.
And I love it. And like,
I want to reread that one.
I want there to be a spinoff.
I do too.
It was set up for a spinoff.
I think it was. I feel like he should give us another book.
And then Two Sides to Every Murder by Danielle Valentine. That was like a summer camp slasher.
Is that the same author that goes by Danielle Vega?
Yes.
Okay, so I've read a few of hers and I really like them. Survive the Night was that one of them. That one was really interesting and good.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
It was really weird, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's one that you go into blind. Because, like, if I told you what it was...
You wouldn't want to read it. So when it comes to cozy mysteries, the Ghost Hunter Mystery Series by Victoria Laureate is always my all-time favorite.
Dead to Rights by Jasmine Webb.
Oh, we loved that one.
I want more of her books.
The Scottish Bookshop Series by Paige Shelton.
That's also a good one.
That one's, like, cozy and atmospheric, and it's just... really good.
I feel like we've been recommending a lot of Scottish reads.
Well, why has it been the year of reading them, I wonder?
I don't know, but
it's like a whole thing.
I'm loving it.
And then you always talk about The Noodle Shop.
By Vivian Chen.
Which I still haven't read.
I need you to read it so I can talk about it.
I have the first two.
Chinese food is one of my favorites, so, like, having a series based off of that, like... Of course I'm gonna read and love it.
Yeah, I mean... I could list on and on and on about all my cozy mystery favorites because I have so many series. I love them all. There's like, I just love how there like is a book for every single hobby you could ever want.
Every single food that you love. Like, I have there's a pizza series that I love by Chris Tvender.
I still haven't read that either.
I need you to read A Slice of Murder.
I have some of them. And it bothers me because one is a hardcover and all the rest are the little paperbacks. Yep. And I will never get a matching set because it's not possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure half mine are paperback, half mine are hardcover.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
But it's so good because it's about sisters who run a pizza shop, essentially. And solve murders on the side. Like, what could be better?
So, what book would you want to live in?
I would want to live in the Harry Potter series. I would want to go to Hogwarts, have my wand, have magical powers. Or maybe, like, Narnia. That could be fun.
It could be. I don't know that I would actually, like, want to live in any book, but I wouldn't mind visiting.
That's fair.
Like, I would obviously want to visit Oz.
Yes!
I would want to go to the Emerald City and skip down the Yellow Brick Road.
Oz could be terrifying, though.
It could.
Just don't make the
You gotta make the right friends, okay? And then I think I would want to visit, like, a gothic fantasy.
Okay, that would be cool.
Also could be scary.
Yeah.
But I think that would be really fun and interesting. And I think it would be really cool to be, like, in a setting with, like, a creepy old mansion.
Not for long, though.
It would also be scary, but it would be cool.
It would be. Or Wonderland.
That would also be scary and really cool and whimsical.
Okay, traveling to living in most fictional worlds would be terrifying if you really think about it.
Because there's always some great evil.
Like, can we just hope that we're not a main character when we go into these? Because I don't want to live the life of a main character and, like, have to fight the big evil.
Right. Yeah, there'd be so much pressure to save everyone and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't... I think visiting is the way to go.
Yes, I would much rather visit, I think.
So what are some of your tricks for getting out of reading slumps?
So, it really depends on what my reading slump is like. But, like, short stories are always a good one. Graphic novels. Or, like, revisiting favorite books and rereading them. That has helped me so many times.
Right. I feel like I often reread something that I loved, or I'll pick up something that I know I will love because I've read other things by the author that I really enjoyed, or it's literally like everything I love mashed into one book. That's really, or I'll pick up like a short read. That's when I'll grab a novella.
Yep.
Or a graphic novel, like you mentioned, because they're quick. I'm not committed to it, so if the mood changes or whatever...
The small commitments are sometimes the way to go. And sometimes just changing format. So if you're mostly reading physical books, sometimes switching to an audiobook or a Kindle book will help as well. Oh, and if you're listening and you don't know what a reading slump is, it's essentially when you are having a hard time reading and enjoying books.
Where everything you're reading, even if you know that you would typically normally like it, but it's kind of like junk.
It's
and
just
you know
it's
not really junk.
I don't like if I'm in a reading slump, I hand Aly a book. I'm like, is it me or is it the book?
And I'm usually like, it's definitely you.
And then you just put them back on the shelf and try them again another day.
It's also a good time to try something that's out of your comfort zone because sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah,
reading something you wouldn't normally pick up, and you end up learning it. Yeah, those are usually what I recommend.
Same. How do you organize your library?
I try to organize it by genre, which isn't always possible. Because sometimes I have authors, there's like categories, okay? Like, you have it by genre, but you also have to keep authors together within each genre. But sometimes you have an author that writes different genres, or the genre isn't fully clear, and then I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and then, like, sometimes... like, you'll want, like, your fairy tale retellings together, and, like, all the subgenres, or you'll want all the same trope together in the romance. And sometimes it's not possible.
Right. Especially when the books are different sizes, or, I don't know, there's various factors. There's just not enough space.
And you have to try and, like, you want the organization to make sense.
Yes.
But you also want to fit as many books as possible on the shelf. And, like, sometimes you have to sacrifice order
to make it all fit. Yep. And you, at the same time, you kind of want it to look aesthetic, too.
And, like, we've rainbowed our shelves before, where they were all organized by color.
I did that for thrillers for quite a while, but then it got to be, there was a space shortage.
I could never find anything when it was rainbowed.
I couldn't either. And it really did bother me having, like, all of the authors not together.
Yeah, that was problematic.
Like, behind me is what we call Fantasy Corner. These are most of my fantasy books on the 4 shelves behind me. And then I have, like, a thriller section, a classics mystery section, and I have, you know, the romance section, graphic novels section,
a horror tower,
like a homework tower, like, it's out of control.
Yeah, I'm mostly organized by genre, but there's a lot of chaos and things that don't make sense. Because what do you do when you only have, like, some of a certain genre? Sometimes they just get shelved somewhere random where they fit, because what else can you do?
Right. It's just making everything fit in a way that you can live with. And when you have, like, read as much as we do and books are coming in and going out as often as they are, it truly, you can't be, like, married to any one system because things are constantly having to be reshuffled around.
I know, I'm constantly changing books. Like, if we're getting rid of books, they go to the used bookstores.
Or little free libraries.
And it's, like, constantly what stays and what goes.
And where they go. Who, and then we also have friends that like to read that we know, this person would really love this book. It needs to go to them. So we actually have, like, a huge holding station in the basement, like a big bookcase that, you know.
This used bookstore likes this kind of book. This used bookstore tends to sell this one. And, like, and then piles for our friends, piles for the little free libraries, and it's just
Constant chaos.
But we love it.
Yeah. Wouldn't have it any other way. Well, thank you for tuning in to Bookish Sisters podcast. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and whatever streaming platform you're watching us or listening to us on. And tune in on November 10th for our Interactive Reads episode. Happy reading.